All right. Okay, guys. Hopefully my microphone will work tonight. Who do we got? Evening, everyone. We got someone already on. We got Rowdy Houndsman with us, but he's trying to send a link right now on his phone. So we'll see. Midnight Blue Outdoors. He's on. I don't know where Brett is tonight. He was out in his buggy running around the day, so maybe he's home taking a nap.
All right, you got me yet?
Yep, you're back.
All right, good deal.
We got Rowdy Houndsman from, well, how do you say it? Nevada? I say it Nevada.
It's Nevada.
Well, maybe in your part of the country. I get crap every time I say Nevada. So that's how I was brought up, I guess.
Yeah, regional thing.
I can't help. I'm the only one that says it right. And I am red tonight, guys. I don't know why. My lighting. Or I was welding. I did weld a lot without my helmet. You know how you tack it? So I probably got burnt.
I think I got you all hot and bothered over there.
Maybe that's what it is. Finally get you on so we can see who's talking crap. How's it going in Nevada? Well, why don't you tell us a little about yourself before we get going?
Oh, so I've been hound hunting. What is this? 2023. About 2004, I started hound hunting for hogs. You know, hunting hogs in California. That's where I grew up. And then I moved out here to Nevada in 2019. Tried to use my hog dogs for that out here, and it didn't work right. You know, they're too warm nosed. So I got a buddy that hound hunts there in California. So I started getting a couple of hounds from him and started doing a couple different breedings. And I've been breeding out here in Nevada, hunting lions since 2019. That's what, four almost 5 years now.
Oh yeah.
Still learning a lot. It is a big change from going from hogs to lions. There's a lot I didn't understand.
A little more meticulous. Meticulous in the training.
Yeah, big time.
So, Jeremy with Louisiana Hunting's texting me. Probably another video of him sitting in a blind looking for deer. So, we don't have that blind stuff here in Arizona.
Here
sit
either.
Up in a blind under a trail, sit on a pond maybe in a blind. That's about it. So how's my cousin keeps trying to get me to move over there he lives in California, but he's right on the border. So he'll go hunt Nevada or whatever. But he keeps sending me properties all over that South Nevada. But there's some good properties over there. You think in Nevada, acorn, whatever. You think of desert,
Yeah. It's just like, as far as like 99% of it's high desert, other than when you get up on the ridges and it's into the, timber. But and that's really only in pockets. So
yeah. There's a guy here I talked to in Arizona that came from over that way. So
yeah.
Jared Fisher. He's been on my
live. I talk to Jared every once in a while. He's from my area. He's kind of been
sorry.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He has a dog for me, and I was supposed to meet him close, and I didn't get in, and then I didn't have service, and tried to call me, and I couldn't pick it up, and when I tried to call him, it wouldn't. I got to run down there and pick up a dog one day. So maybe Thanksgiving. I'll be down that way. So what got you in the dogs?
Oh, actually, so it was my buddy Josh. When I was 18, he took me on a hog hunt, and it was in an orchard, orange orchard, and I got to see, I think he had 5 dogs catch a big boar hog in the middle of an orchard, and I saw a dog come flying out about head high from one tree to the next tree, and I was just mesmerized, like, what the heck just happened? And then, it all played out and got that boar killed. And from that day on, I was hooked. I've had dogs since.
Yep. You should punch that guy in the face, I bet. They make it look easy, don't they? And then you get into it. And I've had a lot of people, I've had clients, I took bear hunting, get dogs. And I tell them, they say, give me a dog. I said, no, I'm not giving you a dog. I'm not going to be responsible for that. I said, don't get dogs. Just run with people who have dogs. And he didn't.
No, it's way better to know somebody that has dogs than be the guy that has dogs.
Yep. You don't have to go out and feed them. You don't have to go out when you're in your whitey-tighties and tell them to shut up.
Right.
You don't have to.
No vet bills.
Yep.
Nothing.
So,
yeah.
Do you do any of your own vet stuff? You carry a bag? It's one thing we don't talk about a lot is a bag.
Yep.
I have 2 bags. I have a human bag and I have a dog bag, and it's pretty much the same thing, except everything in my dog bag is my expired stuff from my human bag, which is expired stuff from people I know.
Right. So I get a lot of expired stuff from work. I'm a fireman. I
love it. I knew a girl on AirVac, and they go through that AirVac. Yeah. I have stuff from 10 years ago still, but
right.
She moved on. I got to find another friend on AirVac because or the ambulances, they got to go through that. And so I got a bunch of suture kits and IVs and
exactly,
and that, here's a little story about all that is we blew a tire, had a spare, blew another tire. Kid brought out a tire, but it didn't have, it was the wrong rim. So we took an IV and poked the tire and put air in another tire and then plugged it. It was a big contraption, but just a quick story of why you should carry some of that stuff. But yeah, I carry a bag for my dogs, Benadryl, gauze, vet wrap, horsetail wrap, just whatever I could throw in there.
So. Yeah. So when I was hog hunting, I carried surgical staple guns. You can buy them eBay, Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest things I carried. And then gauze, and I would use blood clot if it was a bad cut.
Yeah.
But the problem with blood clot is once you've used it, pretty much everything it comes in contact with is going to die just because it dries it out and causes it to die. That's what the vet told me. So I use blood clot as little as possible.
Gotcha.
Direct pressure is one of the best things you can do just because it stops blood flow to that area and allows those blood vessels to contract and stop that bleeding. That's why we preach direct pressure in EMS.
Yeah.
And once you've got direct pressure, cleaning out all the debris, then flushing it, right? That gets a lot of the bacteria out, all that smaller debris that you can't actually grab hold of with your fingers, but all the big debris you pull out with your fingers. And then once it's good enough, the bleeding stopped, that's when you go ahead and use your surgical staple gun, and that closes it up. And I've had to do that several times with the dogs due to big boars.
Yeah.
And depending on the dog, some dogs are better pain tolerant than others. They can handle that walking out, and some can't. So the ones that wouldn't walk, you'd have to carry. The ones that would walk, you could lead them out. So
yeah, I've had some wrecks with javelina, and I had one.
Oh yeah,
get stuck real good in the neck and clawed it up before I got there. And then I loaded him in the dog box, and a dog had kind of jumped on it and popped it again. I had to hold my finger in the hole for 10 minutes just to keep it. And then I let it ride in front of the truck, of course, so it didn't get opened up again. So
yeah, and that goes along with that direct pressure thing. What you're doing is you're giving that blood time to coagulate and those vessels to constrict. And that's the whole point of the clot, is the blood clot tries to plug that exterior hole giving those vessels that were cut, say for theoretically in the neck, because that's where vast majority of the dog cuts happen, neck and point of the shoulders.
Especially with pigs, right?
Yeah, exactly. Gives it time for those blood vessels that are leaking to contract. So
good deal. Hey, what kind of dogs you run? That guy had asked. Can you see the comment? You can't see the comments, can you?
Let me see if I can.
There's a little thing up in the right corner, I believe. You push a little comment button or a little picture. I usually post them. There you go.
All right. I don't know. I'm trying to use my. Let's see. Try to get.
You know what's funny is every time I use a GoPro, which I forgot to plug in, and it just died. That's why we lost video.
Yeah.
But people with the iPhones and stuff have better audio and video than we do.
Really? Yeah, I'm on an iPhone, so maybe that makes a difference. I don't know.
Yep. I need to just use my iPhone.
It says Leardy 58.
Yeah.
So I'm running walkers. I started off with some semi-Nance bred, I don't know, back in 2020. And then so they were, they were sold to me as Nance bred. But once I started talking to Andy Jensen from New Mexico, Montana.
Yeah.
I ended up breeding my female that I got from a friend in California to his twist dog, and his twist dog was built a lot different. So I'm questioning the bloodline of that female, but either way, she was a great dog. She's an older dog when I got her. She came out of Oregon as a bobcat dog, but supposedly Nance bred. And then I bred her to Andy Jensen's twist dog. And now I've got 4 of her pups out of that litter, male and 3 females. And they're all doing really good. And then I also have a female from her prior to when I got her. Or I'm sorry, a male from her prior to when I got her. That was a 8th trig and 3/4 tree and walker, and he's doing really good. He's actually one of the best trail dogs I've got and the coldest nose that I got, but because of that trig, he tends to overrun tracks.
Gets a little too fast.
Yeah, he tries to push it so hard that he overruns it. So about the 2nd or 3rd day of hunting, he actually slows down enough to work a track. He's just one of those dogs that are too fast the first day.
Yeah, it's good to have a fast dog, I guess, if you're on bear. But lions, you need to slow. I jump back and forth, and I always say, my daughter even said, shouldn't we just breed, just use some lion dogs and use some bear dogs? I said, well, that's the plan, but I kind of just jump back and forth. And when I'm out there in the desert, they slow down, and then we get up here, and they're too slow. And then after about a month, they start speeding up. When I get back to the desert, too fast. So you can use them. You just gotta kind of you just have to acclimation time when you're pulling them from region to region, different zones.
Yeah, it takes some time to adjust. They got to figure it out as far as the strength of scent, equals how old the scent is, and they have to figure out how strong and how fast they can push it. And it's I only run lions. Sometimes in the winter I'll run bobcat. Usually that's only during when there's snow, though.
Yeah, you don't snow hunt at all for lion, or you do just?
Oh, I do. Yeah,
mainly.
No, I bear ground and snow hunt. Yeah.
Oh. Yep. So on the snow, do you use your older dogs, or you use it more of a trainer or you just out there lion hunting?
Both. Yeah. Well, I guess all 3. I like to put the females out because I hunt them less. My males, I've had them longer and they're older. So then I'll put them out, and they're the more seasoned dogs, and then I'll put my females out in the snow first. Or I'm going to start this year because they'll be 2 years old this year. I started they're 2 this year. I started them as 1-year-olds last year because I bred. Let's see, I forget. They were born end of October last year.
Yeah.
So that makes them just over 2 years. I didn't, of course, hunt them that first year. They're too young. And then last year I started hunting them, and I'd pack them in. This year I'll start hunting them as the primary dogs just to get them trained up. And then on the older track, or on the fresh tracks, I'll put them out as the first dogs. But then on the older tracks, I'll put my males out first, get it started, and then I'll pack in the females.
Yep. So you don't do no bear hunting at all?
No, I don't. It's hard to draw a tag here in Nevada. It takes 5 to 10 years to draw a tag, so there's no point for me to. I mean, other than pleasure.
What's how many bears they got over there? They got quite a few, or just in certain areas?
It's really only the western half. Well, I say western sliver right along California. So they say somewhere around 800, up to 800, I think is what they claim. But I see a ton of bear sign. It's
a lot more than they're thinking. Well, they're jumping back California, and I bet in the pressure when they were running them in California more, I bet you've seen an influx of them crossing that border right there.
Yeah.
In the Nevada.
That's
all high country right there, right on the border.
Yeah, it goes upwards. You can get all the way up to 7,000-8,000 foot easy.
Yeah,
just straight out of like Carson City. If you wanted to go hunt that right there, you'll be at 7,000 foot in 20 minutes if you wanted to drive. So I during the summer I've started hunting more interior, getting away from all that, just because I don't want to deal with that trash. And I've seen some bear tracks there that were freaking massive. I got a size 9 boot, and they were as long as my foot, if not longer, with the toe, with the claws. So,
you have the conspiracy theory of the grizzlies are bred into the black bear over there too?
I don't, but I don't.
Every once in a while, they'll catch a black bear, or that has a little bit of a hump, and it's just a really big bear. And there's been a couple down here on the Salt River. There's, I hear tales of some old biologists that swore by it,
Well, they say they got the silver grizzly down there in Mexico. I guess that could possibly come up, but it'd be a long ways from where they say they are.
Silver grizzly, huh?
Yeah, it's supposedly the same genetically as the California grizzly, or really similar, and it's all the way down to Mexico, and they've got reports of it, up, and I forget when the last report was, but down in Mexico in the higher elevations.
How far is Carson City from Sonora Pass in California? That's old George Lampert.
I would have to Google it, but I'm going to say 2.5 to 3 hours. Or probably pushing 3 hours.
Is it a couple hundred miles? 100
I couldn't say on the mileage. Probably 100, 150 miles. It's just coming out of Sonora Pass. It's going to be really windy on that Highway 4. So. Yeah. I'm sorry. It's not Highway 4 out of Sonora. That's 108. I think 108. Highway 108.
How long you been in Nevada?
2019. We moved out of California when Gavin Newsom got elected, and I was like, there's no way that was 100% legal.
And he's still getting elected, man.
Right. So we went to bed. I think his name was, I forget his first name, but his last name was Cox. he was ahead by almost 500,000 votes, and then wake up and Newsom's ahead by like 4 million.
It happens. It happens when they use a lot of deceased votes and
Deceased
unauthorized
votes,
votes. And,
vote by mail, and same day voter registration. So there's been lots of documentation of the Democratic, what do you call them? They're not poll workers, but they're
ballot pushers, or what is it called? I know what you're talking about.
They're workers, right? So they're hired by the Democrats, and they go into the homeless camps in the
sign them up.
The field workers coming from Mexico.
Yeah.
So they don't have to have any form of voter ID. They don't have to have state
identification,
proof of residency, or nothing. So they go in and they give these people like $50 gift cards, right? Okay, here's a $50 gift card to Target. Here's a $50 gift card to Walmart. Vote, just all you got to do is fill this out and mark this.
And we wonder why we're losing all of our hunting rights too.
Exactly.
The same thing, Those ballot initiatives come around and sounds real good on, save the wildlife, and everybody's like, yeah, check. I'll save the wildlife, not knowing it gets rid of everything, And then even in California, they're trying to kill out 1,500 or 1,800 bears, and they're always 300 short a year.
I'm pretty sure it's more than that. So it used to be 1,500, and I want to say that they never even got to 700 or 750 or something like that for the first 5 years after the ban on hound hunting. So that's 2012. So I want to say like up until 2017, and then they upped it to I don't even know what they raised the quota to, but there's just so many now that deer hunters walk into them and, oh, there's a bear, I'm gonna shoot it.
Yep.
So it's bad. There's a cold this crazy lady out of Nevada, Lake Tahoe on the California side. She has the Bear Defense League, and she got a moratorium implemented around Lake Tahoe. So like within a mile or something of the lake shore.
Sanctuary.
Yeah, basically, right? So it's a giant sanctuary
and you can't hunt
Lake Tahoe. And since then, the break-ins of cabins and houses by bears have skyrocketed. And it's so bad. Like, my brother inherited a cabin from his grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
This has been, I think, 3 years ago now. Maybe it was 2 years ago. He got a call in the middle of the night, sheriff's department. Said there was a break-in his apartment. They believe it was a bear. The sheriff's deputy beanbagged a bear in the side and ass as it was jumping out of his front door. So that was like 3 o'clock in the morning. He gets there at like 9 o'clock that day. There's obviously been a bear. It broke in. So they did the
they're like octopuses. They will fit through anything.
Yeah.
Just rip it apart.
Exactly. She it was a female with cubs. She had 2 cubs. And it was, a regular front door. It, how it has the 1.5 inch thick exterior, but the interior, belly button to head high is 1/4 inch thick wood. She just pushed it in.
Yeah, like nothing.
Yeah. So they like family friends they would rent it out to, kind of like a bed and breakfast thing.
Yeah.
And then he found out that someone had left a bag of sugar, some chocolate, was it not chocolate milk mix, but like hot chocolate mix.
Yeah.
And a 1-gallon jar of pickles in the fridge. And they were able to smell that through the freaking wall in the fridge. and that's what she broke in for. There was pickle juice and sugar scattered all across the floor, across the countertops. They actually got the sugar out of a cabinet, like a head high cabinet, and the pickles and hot chocolate mix, or no, the sugar and the hot chocolate were in the cabinet, pickles were in the fridge. So they spread it out everywhere.
Yep, that's crazy. You know, I've seen them rip through walls, thick walls. You know, 3/4 wood walls. They'll just destructive. There's a where I hunt. Actually, that behind me there, I hunt that area, and there's a bunch of mines over there, and they have some cabins down on this one mine, and you can see where they barred the windows. Oh, this is like 40s, 50s shacks where they, you know, they were mining, and you can see where they barred the windows. It must have been like their storage. You can see even to the day where those bears were the claws trying to get through those bars, and where they had bent and ripped those bars off.
Oh crap!
Yep. And then you know what they do is they cry to Game and Fish, California does, to come get these bears out of there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even answer the call. Say sorry, we can't touch them in your little moratorium, your little sanctuary.
Yeah. So you bring this up. There's that Bear Defense League. What they do is they put everybody on blast. They actually ran a, I think he was a dentist. They ran him out of North Lake Tahoe because he had a bear break in, and then he called Fish and Game and it was removed. Right. So it's not like, oh, there's one time the bear broke in and it, it scratched my truck, or it got in the ice chest in the bed of my truck. No, it's like this bear broke into my house. I was asleep in the room and I woke up to a bear going through my fridge. So then that's when Fish and Game comes.
Yeah.
So they ran this dude out by
did they kill the bear?
I don't know.
Did they just move it?
I don't know. They maybe they killed it, maybe they removed it. I'm sure it's probably public information somewhere, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, so then you bring that up, made me think of after my brother had got back to his cabin, right, in Tahoe. They went grocery shopping. They got there first thing in the morning, or was 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever that was. Cleaned up, and then they went to the grocery store. They got back with their supplies, right? They were unloading their stuff. This bear got into the bed of his truck, grabbed a tri-tip, a block of cheese, like a 1 pound block, whatever, the bigger ones. They're like 8 inches long, 4x4 or 3x3. And then something else out of the truck. It like from the time that he
walked into the house,
into his driveway, walked in the house, put it in the fridge, and came back out, he saw this bear's butt bailing out of the back of his truck, and it had a block of cheese and a tri-tip in its mouth at the same time.
That's shooting the fence right there. Cheese and meat.
Right.
But they love those bears, and I bet you they all feed them.
Yeah. They all feed them. So I don't even know the name of the company, but there's a company up there. They go through and they put electric fences all the way around cabins, and then up and down doors, over windows, across windows and stuff. And I guess that's been pretty effective, but it's not cheap. I think it's like $3,500, $4,500 to have someone come in,
electrify your house.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It is, yeah.
It was Bigfoot. That guy must be from California. No, California, my cousin's over there, and he's only because he's a cop on a military base. So he's up there in like Walker, California, or somewhere over that way. He's right in the mountains. It's good country. If I know they've been trying to get it to be Jefferson for since 1974. Cut it in half, but
funny you bring that up. Jefferson, the state of Jefferson, I want to say it was World War II when the day Pearl Harbor was bombed was like 5 or 7 days before the vote of ratification for the state of Washington.
So they had it.
They
They,
less than a week, less than 7 days, 7 days or 5 days away when Pearl Harbor got bombed from making the 51st state.
do you think though it would have? How do you think that politics would have played out in the northern part to today? That was in the 40s, right?
What was that? 40, 30? No, I want to say it was late 30s for World War II.
Well, World War II was, I think it ended in what, 45?
Yeah. So I want to say it was
started
like
in 48.
I want to say 38 was when, and I'm probably wrong, but I want to say 1938 is when Pearl Harbor happened. There you go. Google it.
Yeah, I'll have to Google it, man. I thought it was 42. I don't know why 42 stuck in my head. Someone is going to answer 41. Missy's smart. I don't know why we didn't just ask Missy. She says 1941. I thought it was around that area. So what was the politics back in the 40s? You know what I mean? It couldn't be this bad.
I don't know.
It couldn't be this bad because you're still.
It's bad enough that they're wanting to create a 51st state then.
The World War II was 39 to 45. I knew it ended in 45.
Oh, see, I was off by a year. September 1st, 1938. So I thought it was 39.
You had the beginning, I had the end.
I'm sorry, 39. I thought it was 38. Yeah.
Yep. Crazy. I just wonder how it played out today because, that was a while ago, and I'm sure politics weren't exactly red and blue back then, as bad as they probably were today. I wonder if it would have stayed a good state. What was the reason they were trying to make it a different state?
Mm-hmm.
Was there that big of black and white back then?
Oh,
that
back then I don't know, but now I can tell you it's literally like the Mason-Dixon line outside of every.
Well, it's Hatfield-McCoy stuff over there, man.
Yeah.
You don't.
I literally born and raised in California, and there anything outside of a city is red, and even San Diego, this southern quarter of the state is red. I don't know why that large of a state or large of a city or just area is red, but anything that's agriculture, you see giant billboards,
bashing the blue.
Vote red,
Yeah, well, like El Centro, all that over there down south El Centro, that's all real good country. Well, it was. Yeah. I was there a while back, but Yeah. Oh, Saddle Tramp's here. He likes to talk a lot of crap like you too. Just him saying is it makes you wonder what is about to come.
Yeah.
Oregon, Midnight Blue Outdoors. I did a class over there in Washington, Oregon, like on the border there, and I stayed out of all that crazy country down there. I mean, that's the whole legalizing drugs thing. Stupid.
Yeah, I
don't know. I'm not a druggie, so I guess it don't make sense to me.
If they end up expanding Idaho, I think I might end up moving up there. So the greater state Idaho.
Yeah. What's going on over there?
Oh, you haven't heard about that? No.
I'm real bad on the news, man. I don't watch the news. I try not to watch the news. I just try to stick to myself. It's depressing.
It pretty much is, yeah.
There's nothing good about the news anymore.
No. It's all
Oregon is.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
No, what is that about? I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I just don't doubt it.
So they're trying to redraw the boundaries of Oregon, Idaho. And basically what they want to do is they want to take Oregon, say it's this big, and then reduce it to like that, a quarter-ish, let me see, a quarter-ish of the state, basically along the coast. So
all the liberal stuff is going to be on the west. And they want to take all the non-liberal stuff.
Yeah, so they
join it with regular people.
Right? So, yeah, they want to take and expand Idaho to face opposite of Louisiana. So it'd be like a backwards boot. So now you got your left and you got your right boot.
It's crazy. It's crazy that all these states are trying to do that. It's so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Anything west of 15 stays blue.
I-5, yeah. And that's a big one too. See, I-5, that actually comes up to Sacramento and then curves back over. So yeah, that'd be about right. I don't know why
I don't know what happened. What happened to Washington and Oregon to where you can't hunt there no more? It's like you have California, who's just idiotic in their voting, and then you skip Nevada.
Well, it's getting. We actually turned it back red this last year. We were blue. Now we turned it back
red. That was like on the border of that too, right? Man.
So, and what it is, a lot of people have moved into to Vegas. So Henderson and Clark County down there, but they also busted a bunch of locals for voter fraud. So if the locals were getting busted for voter fraud, it was national voter fraud too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, I think I heard of 3 or 4 like county commissioners or they were either commissioners or like running the cities, whatever that's called down there. They were busted for that. So they're literally got them caught on video dropping off ballots.
It don't matter. It don't matter. The guy's been there 3 years, and like, what would you do? What are they going to do if they've already proved it a couple times, and it's just a conspiracy theory still. But the guy's been destroying for 3 years. You know what I mean? It's like, dang, your spouse is cheating, but it's all right. Just keep going. And it just bleeds over. That's the problem, is it bleeds over. You get people who move from California to all these other states, like dumping oil in water. It's just going to spread everywhere. They don't want to clean nothing up. So you get these Californians coming over, and then they attack the hunting in Arizona.
Big time.
And there's a big hound. There's a big hound community.
Yeah.
More than you know. And they know, they go after that because hound hunters are dumb rednecks.
That's what they think. Yeah.
No, we work, right? When did they attack us? They attack us in the fall. I'm not paying attention in the fall. I'm hunting. That's what most people do in the fall. So all these meetings happen in the fall, not in the summer. In the fall or in the spring. They know what they're doing. Those guys know what they're doing. They strategize it just enough.
Yeah. Sorry, I got dogs on the ground. Figured out while I'm up here.
Good.
So actually, I saw something about Idaho. Is the red voter base has expanded by over 750,000, while the blue voter base, and this was as of like 3 years ago, so it's not up to date, but 3 years ago, the Democrat voter base had shrunk by 200,000. So that gives the red voter base roughly 1 million over the blue.
Let me tell you something about the natives that I know. And I know a few natives. Arizona I have a reservation north and south of me, and east and west, all over. And the one guy, he says most everybody is red on the inside, but because of basically pressure, they vote blue. And they were under the impression Trump was going to take away all the reservation. That's what they were spreading. That's what they were telling them. I'm just like,
I've never heard such a thing.
No, and then a lot of the natives are talking about, oh, Civil War, Civil War. I said, listen, man, this is what no one's going to talk about and tell you. We go into a civil war and restructure the government. All those treaties, the Constitution, all this goes away. You could lose everything. We could lose everything on a civil war or a revolution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those treaties
Yeah.
that America wrote back in the day, and if we restructure, man, you could lose those. You could lose those treaties. You could lose a reservation.
So what? All right. So what most people don't ever talk about is back when they were making those treaties, it was ran by Democrats, right? And every single one of them violated those treaties, and not just violated. That's where you get straight massacres of the natives, and that was by Democrat presidents, not Republicans.
I got to text my wife to. My dogs are out there barking. I got to send my boys out. It's the puppy. They're mad at something. Got to go shake that BB gun. Bark in the night.
Oh man.
What are you doing? What are you chasing? Something.
Oh, nothing. My dogs are running back down the road, and I've got my female staked out at camp, and I got a female that's coming into heat, and my males are running back down the road.
To go back to camp?
Yeah.
They're like, we know where he is, and we know where he's not.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as I get service again, I'm gonna start toning back.
So are you camped out right now?
Yeah. I'm about almost 2.5 hours from the house.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I thought because I texted you and I said I got to drive up a couple miles to get service. So
yeah,
I thought
you just got good service.
Every houndsman that we try to get on here is don't have service at their house. I had to get Starlink, so California going to get worse because of all the red voters are moving out, leaving all the
No, that's true. Yeah.
Yep,
It's something like 250 to 300,000 voters a year are moving out.
They were saying they were issuing, this was years and years ago. They were saying they were issuing 10,000 driver's license to Californians for Arizona driver's license a month back in the day. And this was
10,000.
And this was before all this started.
That's a lot of people.
I wish you'd catch something while he was in service so you could go to the tree.
I cut some tracks at about 10:30 this morning, but they were a couple days old.
Go ahead.
I was out here a week ago with my my son. He's 2 years old, and not quite 2 years old. And I think I said a week ago. It would have been Monday. Yeah, right about 6 days ago. So there's sometime between then and now. And it's either a tom and a small female or a big female and a big yearling.
Oh. One of them yearlings about to get kicked off.
Yep.
I know. I get a lot of people glass up stuff. They're like, oh, I glassed up three of them. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a female, and they were all big. I'm like, yeah, they're probably a female and her kittens.
Yep.
They'll hang around for a while, kill everything in sight.
She's about ready to pop again. She'll start running them off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I was deer hunting a couple weeks ago, and I tried to go without my dogs because if I take my dogs, I'm looking for. I'm not a big deer hunter. Like we go and we have fun deer hunting. That's about it. So I took my dogs and I was busy looking for tracks, but I found more bear tracks, than anything. So found a good honey hole. It's just real tough country. Really tough country.
Yeah, so my honey holes that I hunt usually when there's snow on the ground, I've avoided because that's where all the bears are.
Oh, gotcha. You want no trashy dog.
Yeah. And I saw right when they started coming out this past spring, I saw one. He was the right color, red, like a red sorrel color.
Yeah.
I thought it was a horse. Literally,
Hey.
I thought it was a horse. And we were talking, half, 3/4 mile away. And then I get the binoculars up on it, and I'm looking at it, and it's moving fast through the trees of mahogany up on the ridge. And it had no tail. It was one of the biggest bears I've seen in Nevada so far. And it was, I didn't make it all the way over there because I didn't want to hike, 3/4 mile the opposite direction of the truck, just look at a track. But it was a big bear.
How many tags they give out a year there in Nevada?
Last I heard,
not very many if you're only counting 800 bears.
Yeah, last I heard was 50. 45 go to resident, 5 go to non-resident. So
where was that? We just had I think Louisiana hunting. So is that Louisiana where they're doing that bear hunt? They're only giving out like 5 tags or something. I'm sure he'll chime in. Wasn't that many? That's like the first year they opened up. They opened it up. Kind of a weird deal. Kind of spoiled in Arizona,
Yeah.
Over the counter. I'm sure they'll screw that up. They
enough Californians move in.
We do a mandatory check-in. I know the over-the-counter deer hunt, they do mandatory check-in, and now they're doing zones. They did the same thing with our lion. And when the snow hits, like this year, I haven't got no snow yet. So the lions, they'll stay open for most of the year. Most of them.
Okay.
But once the snow comes, everybody becomes a lion hunter. So
yeah. No, I used the snow the first couple of years to get the dogs started, and then I've started transitioning over to dry ground.
You got to get them under the game. You got to get them under those trees. You got to let them see something, because I think most people who start out in hounds and start out with pups won't catch nothing for a few years.
Yep, that was me. Yeah, it took me a year. I started out a year with pups, and then 2019 I bought the house. 2020 I got pups. 2021 I got that older female from California.
Yeah,
and it took her about a month and a half of hunting to get transitioned over to the desert, and then she started doing good for me. She'd trail a little bit dry ground, but then the snow hit, and then it was game on. She was put a couple up in trees for me, and I had pups that got to see their first lions, or not trail. That first year I trailed a couple lions, but never did get them caught in the snow. And then that second year, technically third year, they I don't even remember. I put 3 or 4 up that year, and then last year I was able to put 9 up. So
it's amazing how those dogs react. Just you do 2 or 3 year, they're 82% better. The next year you do 6 a year.
Yep,
they're 110% better. They just a couple trees. I have a couple dogs I've had on some bears this year, and they're real young, and he did really good on treeing and everything.
Yeah. Just them figuring out how to trail in the snow and follow a track, I think really helped. And then getting underneath the tree, that first 2 or 3 trees this last a year ago was pretty rough. They're overrunning the track by almost a quarter mile, then they come back trying to figure out where it went. Right.
Hey, they came back. They came back.
They did. Yeah. Came back to where they last found it, and they were literally so then I hiked into there. Just because there's myriad of roads, I'm not gonna hike from the time I drop them on a track, because who knows how far they're gonna go.
Well, they may turn back.
Yeah, double back, or make a loop or make a 90-degree turn and just go up a ridge or whatever. But what I've learned is usually it's 1 to 2 miles in the snow. And I know a whole lot of people don't mention that. It's probably varies by region, but if it's fresh snow, it's usually a mile. If it's snow that's crusted over, it's 1 to 2 miles is what I've been seeing, at least last year and the year before. And then, so this year, I haven't put anything up since the last snow. And that was a lot of because of work and
work for
family.
poor people.
I'm poor.
You got dogs. You say no more.
Right. So, and what really helped me out, I think, this year is my dogs are doing so much better. They're trailing so much better. Is I did a lot of culling. I got rid of 4 dogs this past spring.
That's I tell people how important that is. Give it to someone as a pet. Do whatever you need to do, but
Just
don't
get
keep
it out of your hunting pack.
Don't keep a dog because them dogs have bad habits. It's like a kid.
Yeah.
Your kids are perfect, maybe, or maybe other people's kids are perfect and yours ruin them. The kid comes around and starts flicking boogers at him. He's going to start flicking boogers, and it's the same with dogs. And I have a couple people, young people, that held on the dogs. And I said, listen, you got a cold dog. You got to learn how to get rid of dogs.
Yeah.
You got to learn how to, I don't care what you do with them, get rid of dogs because you're feeding nothing. You feel, why don't you just why don't you just take your neighbor dinner every night? Don't let them buy groceries. That's what you're doing.
It took me being brutally honest with myself and surveying my dogs, seeing which dogs are hunting, which dogs are following, and which dogs, when I get to a tree, which dogs are treeing, So I started with those 3 classifications. I whittled them down, which one was actually trailing, which one was treeing, and then which one was the one that's pushing the track, right? So I took out four, based off of that. So I had 12. Now I'm down to 8.
And losing those 4 was like gaining 6 good dogs.
It was. Now I've got 2 packs, my males and my females. My males are much better than my females because I've had them longer.
You can't say overall. That on internet. You can't say that on internet. Just say Team A is better than Team B.
Well, and that's why I was saying it's not because male, female.
Do you like males or females better?
Most experience out of my 2 packs.
So you think, do you prefer the male or female, or do you think males? Everybody has their own little.
I prefer males. My females tend to be harder headed, and I've noticed that with my hog dogs back in the past too. Mm-hmm. My males are more. They want to please me more. My females are more for themselves, and they're harder to correct.
I feel like I'm opposite. I feel like my females work for me better. I think it's my charm more than anything. But my males they piss me off sometimes because, especially if you got a female that just is thinking about coming in the heat. I know everybody's done it. You go out, you load your dogs, you go out, and then you see a dog bury its nose in her butthole, and you're like, oh, please just not be. And then they start kissing on her, and boom. It's
as soon as you turn your head.
I've had 2 dogs, brothers, Andy and Dirty. I could lock in a barrel together for a year, and they would not raise a hair at each other.
As soon as the female comes to eat.
Nope. I'm at a coon trial, and I don't usually do the hound trials. I got kind of roped into it one year, and I do. The kids have fun, but you can't take your good dogs down there. You have to have a dog just for the hound trials, because, in my opinion, I have a red bone, and I'm not a big red bone fan. I got a red bone. She came in the heat, snuck out, locked up for my best dog. So I wasn't too disappointed about it. And then I get this dog, and he's great. Not a same thing, not a raise a hair. And then after those, he had 3 dogs jump at him this summer on him at those coon trials. And now at the tree, I've had to I've had to hit the love button really hard on him because he would jump on dogs, and he never
Yeah.
did that. He's 3, 4 years old. He's never done that until that happened. One of them was his sister, and it just made him kind of aggressive. And I hope I get him out of it. So I'm kind of picky on who I take with me or who I run my dogs with because they're dogs. They're dogs. They're animals. As
Yep.
soon as, like I said, the worst fight I ever had was at the coon trial. Somebody brought a jip in heat. And I did a coon run. I come back. I put I walk, I'm on a leash. I have my Andy on a leash, walk by dirty, and they jump on each other. And they're big dogs. And I'm not going to lie. I had to put the hammer down on my Andy dog. He's a big dummy. I don't know if you ever seen Of Mice and Men. I always compare him to Lenny.
Yeah.
Big dummy. The guy would hunt, had heart. Just, anyways, like I got him hard enough where he hit the ground hard, and I picked him up. And as soon as I did, he grabbed that other dog's foot again. I like threw him back into my truck. 2-week-old Tundra, 2019, and he hits my fender and dents my fender, which made
Yeah.
me madder. but after that, no, week goes by. Like I separate them the weekend. Week goes by, not a problem in the world. Years.
Good.
No, just that one time.
Yeah.
So males, and I don't like cutting males or spading females because
Yeah.
they turn out good. You always want to kind of breed them or get something out of them. So
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a backyard breeder. So
Yeah. I don't know. I've always been against castrating too, or fixing too, just because that's it's not. I don't breed for no reason, right? I only breed because I think it's going to make a good cross.
Mhm.
So I don't want to limit myself in case that dog makes a good dog. And then you listen to all guys that, the older breeders, they're like, well, you don't want to breed to an exceptional dog out of a average litter because it's probably going to be, just average dogs or below average dogs out of that. But we started somewhere, right? When we first started breeding, 1 out of 10 made a dog. Now we're getting, to litters. This last litter I had, just about every single one of them made a good dog, but only 1 made an exceptional dog. But they all hunted, and they've all been good dogs. I think.
See, that's your line. I had a guy post on the internet. Yeah, you might have a Cameron, but once you breed it, that's not a Cameron dog no more. That's your dog. And I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You do have the background of, say, Cameron or Nance or any of those, but it is your cross now.
Yeah.
Unless you're crossing back to another Nance or Cameron or something. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to get a light going here. I'm losing light. Sun's gone down.
I can see you fine.
How's that? That better?
The other day, I think who was on? It was Jared Fisher. He was completely dark. He ended up going in the house. But and I don't know. I'm not into the papers.
I'm not either. But
I don't think a lot of people are in the western part of the United States. We breed to what's your favorite color? The nose. That's me. Do I like black and tans? No. Do I like red bones? No. Do I like plots? No. If they hunt, I'll like them. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. Yeah, no, I'm 100%. I want a dog that hunts. I don't care about color. I've got 2 that are a blue tick cross, and they're Southwest bred. Right, one's a female that right now she's probably getting bred by my male, 2.5 miles back to camp. Which I did not really want at all. But and then I got another one that came from Southern Arizona, and they're both that blue tick cross, Southwest bred, and they're both good dogs.
Who'd you get them from in South Arizona?
I'd have to look his name up again. It's he lives fairly close to Jared. Jared would know his name. We've talked about him a couple times.
Do you have some of that Warner stuff, Glenn Warner stuff, or does he have something else? You know, that's one thing I don't hear a lot of people brag about is I have Glenn Warner stuff.
Yeah, but so from the videos that I've seen, he runs a lot of looking like English red tick stuff. But he runs a lot of dogs. Does he just? Is it the fact that he doesn't sell?
I don't know. I have no clue. The guy.
I mean, that makes sense if he just doesn't sell dogs.
Maybe he just don't sell dogs, or I know some people that have bred to his stuff, but you just don't hear a lot of people bragging about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You hear Cameron, you hear Nancy, you hear Alan, you hear Smith. I mean, you know, Derringer.
Jerry Smith, maybe that's who it is.
There's Steve Smith, but he's down, I think, in Globe.
Let me. Now you got my curiosity up. I don't know. I probably lost. I'm probably gonna lose service here. Let me double check. Let me look his name up.
All right.
And then I'm gonna hop out and put these dogs up so they're walking around. It's cold outside. So.
What is it? What are you guys at right now over there?
Temperature wise, I don't even know, but it's just windy. We're bringing down in the 20s, but right now I'm on top of a mountain and it's been 15-mile-an-hour wind on average. Probably.
I rather hunt in 3 foot of snow than 5 miles of wind.
Yeah.
No one likes the wind. No one likes the wind.
The wind sucks. It does suck, and these dogs are walking with their tails tucked. So it's just
throw them in the box.
That's what I'm gonna do. Let me pull his name up real quick, and I'll let you know. Then I'm Jerry Smith sounds really familiar. So give me about 2 minutes here. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, so don't go cussing at your dogs too much.
Oh, shoot. Okay. All right.
That's why when I edit my videos, I'm like, man, I yell a lot.
Yeah, so it's Jerry Smith. Yep, out of Southern Arizona there. And the dog's been a real good dog. I have no complaints about him.
Yeah.
He's just eats. Both of those dogs that I've gotten from the Southwest bred blue tick crosses have been timid dogs, unlike my walkers, which have been very dense.
You know, some people like a timid dog so no one can catch him or whatever, but I don't like a timid dog.
I can't deny that, but then I get frustrated whenever I'm, in a hurry because, we got too close to a road or, whatever. We're getting in some bluff and I want to call them up because they're in some bad country and I want to get a hold of them so I can lift them up onto a good ledge. But
that's a hard thing about a dog who hunts too hard too. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get them off of it. My dogs are pretty good. We had a tree bear, I don't know, a few weeks ago, and I just called them off. Yeah. And then I think we talked about that last week. Is people say it's bad and they're not hunting hard, but they'll hunt as hard as I let them. I mean, I like manners. You gotta have manners. I've hunted with people who had dogs with no manners, and it just wears you out.
Manners big for me.
So,
give me a second. I'm gonna go catch these dogs up. But I'll be right back.
Sounds good. Brad said he was gonna get on this tonight. Maybe he wore himself out today, out running around. So And Nicholas said he was gonna try to get on, but it's already 5 o'clock. But is it midnight blue? Is it an hour? I think you guys are an hour ahead of us now. I don't know why they changed the time over there in Oregon or California or none of that. Because it's 6 o'clock here, and I think it's 5 o'clock there. So I don't know why they don't just leave it like Arizona. I can see Florida and North Carolina, all them weirdos over there. And then I got Louisiana hunting. He been doing some hunting, trying to catch him a deer. So you guys are, yep. Yeah, I think they should leave it all on this West Coast, probably from New Mexico all the way over to California. Anywhere in that zone, it's 5 right now. It's 6 here, but it's already dark. So getting dark. Looks dark out there. Hiding in my office trailer. But I'm waiting. Had a video come out today. I did some deer hunting. I'm gonna put a video out again. I've been busy. I've been really busy on some PI stuff. So got some big cases. I'd rather be hunting, but we do have some units that just opened. I'm gonna go try to hunt, and then we haven't got no snow. I don't know if anybody else has got any. I don't even think California's got a whole lot of rain and snow, have they? My cousin was saying they got a little bit of rain, but
All right, I'm back.
now I gotta go back and unlock your dogs. Did they make it back to you, or do you still got a couple mails out?
No, I got one mail out, and I lost connection with him at let's see. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
A little bit.
Almost 3/4 of a mile behind me.
And that's where camp is?
Camp's 2.5 miles back.
Are you on your own right now? Are you just hunting on your own?
Yeah. I hunt by myself or with my kids.
Yeah, it sounds like me. I'm always by myself. Even my daughter, she started kind of questioning me. Like, I was deer hunting and she left Monday. She left Monday and I stayed out till. She left Monday. I think she left Tuesday. And I stayed out till Thursday. And then she couldn't get hold of me for a while. On my location, she has my location on her phone. She couldn't get hold of me, so she's worried about it. But I do get in some stuff back there. One of my Globe videos. Well, both of my Globe videos, both of them. I took my son the second time, and we got in some horrible cliffs and bluffs and dehydrated and wanted to just kind of die right there. Maybe someone would find us. It was bad. I think we started a bear. Half of them went toward bear, and we had 3 or 4 dogs go even further east onto some big bluffs. I mean, it took them, they were 180 yards down there. It took them an hour to get down 180 yards and 4 hours to get back up. And we had the one dog, we ended up throwing it on the mule, taking it back to camp. So
shoot.
Yeah. It was tough. And I was with somebody. I've been that first Globe trip I have videoed. I was by myself, man, and I got my mule stuck in a tree. How bad it was.
And so I know how bad that can be. Let's see. So 2004 to 2008, I worked for 2008 was full time. I worked for a pack station, and we did commercial packing for backpackers, some hunts, but usually backpackers, or we'd take people out like say someone wanted to be dropped off, or even we would bring a cook and I'd stay and take them on day rides and stuff. So I did that for 3 years full time, and then on and off for another couple years on my days off. I would do resupplies and backpack trips and whatnot. commercial packing. And I've had instances where mules went down. I've had instances where, you know, I'd be riding a green colt and all of a sudden he breaks in two and he flops over. And then he would slide downhill and wedge himself underneath the tree. Just because it's mountains, right? Sierra Nevada. Yeah. Most people don't know the Sierra Nevadas are some rugged timber.
What's the highest peak on those? What do those go up to?
Mount Whitney, it's like 14.5.
Can you get to the top?
Yeah, you can get to the top of Mount Whitney. I don't know if they allow horseback riding anymore. Where I was packing was average pass was 10,000. Some of the passes and ridge tops where I would take people was 11.5. So.
Jonny wants to go. Jonny loves that kind of stuff. He just got back from a New Mexico ride.
That's twice. That is twice what I hunt at here. Like it's 5,000, like a little over 5,000 feet. So I probably couldn't breathe out there.
I think I'm sitting at 7 or maybe 8,000. I didn't even look right now. It's between 7,000 and 8,000 right now. Having cell service, luckily.
When I was out there, I was in a lot of like 8,000 area, and I was fine until I turned to walk uphill, and that's when I lost my oxygen. I mean, I couldn't breathe. Level ground or downhill, I was all right. Turned to go uphill in about 2 steps, and I was stuck in wind.
And no humidity. There's no humidity over here. Not like back east.
No,
not like what I live in. You know, 50% humidity is a dry day.
I think this week's been in the teens, low teens probably.
Getting cold over there. You got the ocean right there, huh? Or close by. That's why you guys get right over that mountain.
But so I live in what's called the rain shadow of the Sierra Nevada. Sierra Nevada is basically the California-Nevada border runs along the east side of the Sierra Nevadas, and we're basically the rain shadow. So, you know, everything in the shadow gets no rain. My average rainfall is 7 inches here. You go over the top of the hill, basically draw a line east to west over the top of the Sierra Nevadas, and it'll go from 7 inches to like 25 or 40 inches, depending on where you're at.
Crazy. Does that all run down to you though? Or is it on the other side?
Yeah, so I live at the termination of the Carson River drainage. Right now we have what's called Carson Lake, and it's usually a mud puddle, basically, you know, 500 acres. Right now it's probably somewhere around 20,000 acres surface area, just because the sheer runoff that they couldn't use out of the for irrigation out of the Carson River.
I think my cousin was trying to get me to buy property over by Carson Lake. There was some property over there.
Yeah, that's real close to where I live, and I like the area. There's nothing wrong with it.
I thought about it, just to change. As long as there's water. Arizona has no water.
Now we get a decent amount of water there. It's just sheer. You don't have to worry about well water because we are like in the Carson drainage, and it replenishes the aquifer. But as far as rainfall, like I said, it's only about 7 inches.
That's way more than I get.
Is it really?
I don't know. I don't know what we got this year. We got a good spring this year, but no monsoons.
Yeah.
So our acorns were tiny or to nothing. Like they just didn't. The good areas didn't produce like they usually. If we get a good August rain, you know, July and August rain, good rains, acorns are popping. But I don't even think I haven't seen a mushroom out there. I haven't seen one. So they're just not.
We don't have any
humidity.
We got pinyon pines, junipers, and sage.
Oh, yeah. The pinions did great down in Globe. That right there behind me. It was even right now. They're all dried up. You can find a few that aren't, but the top of the trees were just packed, still full of the cones. They had a lot of pinions this year, and a lot of. I don't know if you guys have the paddle cactus or the prickly pear cactus over there.
We've got these little bitty ones. They only grow like 6 or 8 inches tall. and they're only about 3 inches tall, 2 inches wide, but they've got thorns on them that are like 3 inches long. So they're not the big, the big cactus that you can go by at the Mexican restaurants.
Oh yeah, prickly pear. Oh,
yeah.
they popped good this year. Really good. They got the berries on them, the prickly pear apples or whatever everybody calls them. But
those are really good. It's either our elevation or the fact that we're cold for so long, because we tried planting some along our driveway.
Yeah.
And I think the freeze has killed it. Like, it just froze it so solid that it killed it.
I'm at 6,000 feet, and I have a bunch of little, like you said, they're like little paddle cactuses. I don't know what they're probably a different species. I know they're different species, and every once in a while I'll get a little fruit on them or a little flower. But man, this year you could go pick gallons and gallons and gallons of those prickly pears.
Nice.
And then I have pictures. I don't know if I still have it on my phone. I have pictures of the swirls. I don't know if you guys ever eat swirl berries. I love them, but they were packed full this year. I don't know if I got a picture of it. I mean, packed full this year. I think I switched phones. I took a picture of one, and it had probably, I don't know, 80 flowers on it. It was ridiculous. It looked like a bad res dog that had ticks. It was ridiculous. But we got a lot of spring rain, so
okay.
I don't have a picture of it, man. It was crazy. But I like to harvest those too, and I eat the Palo Verdes. You know what a Palo Verde is? Tree? I don't know if you have them over there in the desert.
No.
Oh, I'm a Palo Verde bean eating guy. So when they're on the trees and they're green, I eat a lot of them. Oh, we lost Jonny. So I've never made mesquite beans yet. I wanna pick some mesquite beans and make some chili beans out of it. See how it comes out.
We get a lot of Russian olives out here because I think the salt and maybe just the mix between the salt and alkali soil.
Yeah,
it makes it tough for anything to grow. Other than
you got a lot of those salt cedar trees over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a ton of them.
Those horses you guys got over there, they'll eat those.
Yeah, so
those Mustangs eat the crap out of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how. It's such a dry tree. So Jonny must have lost some service.
I don't know per capita what average count is per state, but we have a ton of Mustangs out here.
You guys got a Mustang problem.
We do.
And they won't. I know the Navajo reservation was going to open a season, I guess, on them. And they got shut down. Yeah. They catch them or kill them, I guess. I was ready to go up there. I'll feed my dog's horse.
Shoot,
I'll eat horse. I know. So, and
I'm not opposed to eating meat.
Hey, it can't be no different than elk. It's lean.
Right.
It's lean.
Right.
There's no fat on it.
I mean, there's a couple things like coon and coyotes and wolves I won't eat, but shoot, horse, I try it.
Oh, I think they used to. Wasn't a Jack in the Box back in the day, the 80s or 90s or something, got caught serving horse meat? I don't know how old you are. I'm maybe older, but they got caught, or Jack in the Box or somebody.
I wouldn't doubt it as McDonald's.
No, that's not even meat at all. I don't even know what they serve. It's a concoction of caulking and drywall mud.
I know it's a few years ago. I was pretty shocked to know that Jack in the Box taco meat is not really meat. It's soy with meat juice.
But you can't beat a Jack in the Box dirty sliced cheese, scrape off the grill, put it in a whatever. I don't even know if that's a real shell. I think they buy all the old shells from Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Fall on the floor or get wet, and then they just dumping ingredients, and you just
Right.
can't beat them. You can't beat them. Indigestion. You know.
So that was the 1:30 a.m. drunk off your butt, roll into Taco or Jack in the Box and buy a dozen tacos.
Yep. Yeah, because
Yep.
it was 2 for 50 cents back then, not 2 for
Yep.
99 cents.
2 for
It was
$1.
either that or Carl's Jr.'s chili fries.
Yeah.
So that's where, I don't know if you guys got a Carl's Jr. at all, but
Oh yeah. It's not. So there's Carl's Jr. and then back east, I think it turns into like Hardee's or something like that.
oh yeah, yep. Hardee's.
Yeah. No,
We
I
have
like
Whataburger.
I like Carl's Jr. more than the Hardee's.
Yeah, I'm a Whataburger guy, but we don't have it where I live, only down in Phoenix. So when I go down there, I kind of gorge. So
Yes, there's the old In-N-Out out of California. That's overrated, but it's still pretty good.
I'm not a big In-N-Out fan.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the dirty foods. I try not to eat out a whole lot. I'm bad enough cooking with what I cook, Wiener Schnitzel, remember that?
Yeah,
Used to be
there's still some in
days.
California.
Really?
I absolutely love their chili dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the closest thing you can get to now is maybe Sonic's chili dog.
Yeah,
That's about
Sonic.
it.
I get there. So what they don't have is they don't have sauerkraut at Sonic's. It drives me insane.
Nope.
So that's I gotta have. Well, I don't have to, but I really like some sauerkraut on the chili dog.
I'm not a big sauerkraut fan. I have a bunch I made. out in the cellar there, but it's about hounds or your diet. Both.
Yeah.
Look at Brett over there sitting at home, probably eating a chili dog, talking about. That's what it is with hounds. Sometimes you pull into the drive-thru and get the cheap food and be on your way again. In the old days, we used to go get Taco Bell when you could buy for $20. You got 10 tacos, 10 soft tacos, 10 hard tacos, 10 burritos, and you throw them in your truck. Brett is not a vegan. Better not be a vegan. We'll kick him off the show.
Trying to see if I can see the comments here.
You got to click the little comment thing here. Oh, yeah. Brett posted, this is about the hounds, not your diet. At least I know he's alive at home.
Yeah, I'm trying to connect. I may have just lost you here. I don't know.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you. I was thinking the same.
Okay, shoot. I was trying to connect.
We've been talking.
It sent me to another webpage.
We've been talking about hounds for the last hour. It was only the last 10 minutes we've been talking about food. I think it's because I haven't ate yet. But I did. Right? I tell you, on my deer hunting video. What's that?
I said, you're talking about food. I got some deer steaks I seasoned before I came up here. They're rested, ready to be put on the grill.
And you got to be here early, Roy. Hear the hound talk. The end of it's just all the trash talk. But I got a video. I'm gonna edit a video, and I show people how to make I call it the morning after burger. I don't know why. It's just maybe if you're drunk, it's a good hamburger after. But I only make it in camp. It's hash browns and a hamburger and egg, and it's really messy. It's horrible messy.
One of my favorite things is to go to like IHOP or whatever, and Denny's, get the biscuits and gravy, and then so you're talking about morning after, hangover cures is you mix all that stuff up. You mix it all up, and then you throw
Brett's getting on.
Hey Brett, how you doing?
I got to get this thing straightened out.
Hey, we've been talking about hounds for an hour. And look, now all of a sudden everybody's jumping on talking about food. Taco soup, man. My wife makes some tortilla soup. That's phenomenal.
See? Now you're
making You recover from today, Brett? All that having fun?
I'm worn out. I'm tired.
Did you have to walk? Did you do walking? Didn't you go?
Yeah, I did a little bit of stuff today. I took some dogs out and checked some canyons, and I was just in the buggy though. I wasn't on the mule. And then I had a doctor's appointment, so my wife threatened me with my life if I was too late. I went to the doctor's appointment, so
Everything turning out all right?
Oh yeah, they said I'm healthy as a horse.
Glad to hear that.
They said do whatever you want to do. I said, all right.
Yeah. What'd your wife say though?
She was more relieved than me to get me out of the house.
I bet. Just turn on your little locator and you're good to go. You're in reach, and
she had already sent me. You know, I just got back from the Gila. I went up in the wilderness for a couple of days, and I think she was happy to see me go. She's right over there. You want to see her?
Yeah, I think we should put her on live. She ran, didn't she? Did she run?
She's threatening to kill me right.
Oh yeah, that's my old lady. I get in a lot of trouble when I put her on. She's probably watching right now. She hasn't seen my thumbnail, but she's on my thumbnail on my last video, so I'm probably going to be in trouble.
Hey, that's like an old pot liquor.
I enjoyed that video, Chris.
The last one?
Yeah.
So I think my deer hunting video is gonna. I haven't even barely started hunting or putting it together, but I've been watching the videos. I'm loading it. I think I might have actually almost put a story together where it makes sense this time.
Oh wow!
I'm kind of excited for it, so it's probably going to be a flop. I don't care. Right?
Good.
If they don't like it, don't watch it.
I think it's a good thing, but I watched a lot of it, and that's the one you. I mean, you have a bear, right?
Yeah, I caught my dad thought he is trashing elk, and he goes back to camp and he's mad because his GPS, he's buying new ones, screw these old ones, and and he screw the dogs because he's seen elk tracks and he thinks they're trashing, and he lost them on the GPS, so he just went back camp, ate something. He's like, oh, I got it, and he's supposed to be headed back to the Phoenix. It was Sunday. So by the time he was supposed to be leaving, he had to go look for dogs. So he goes back out, and I get a text, and it's just a road, west side of this road. I'm all, what? I don't know what that means. And so I'm sitting around for 20 minutes, and it's bad service. So the picture comes in, and it's a bear in a tree. I'm all, he's lying. He took this off the internet. He's trying. I call him. I'm like, did you tree a bear? He goes, yeah. Where's your? I don't hear dogs. I'm like, I don't hear dog. He's all, they're right here. They came at me. Like, you walk in and they'll run at you. So they quit barking. And he goes, oh, there's two of them in there. There's two in there. And, when I got there, I'm like, how did you not see two? He goes, I thought it was just a big bear. It was like two branches and it was wrapped around. So it looked like one bear. The one bear came down before I got there, and his dogs took off and chased it. So he's literally sitting there under a tree waiting for me to get there watching this bear. So we get there, we let dogs out, and I had a kid with me that his dogs aren't the best. They've been on some bears, but they just blow out, and I hear his dog open. I'm like, whatever, let him run. Well, they end up trailing out and treeing the other bear with the other two dogs. And so the radio dies. So now I don't have a radio, and I'm yelling, whoop, and I finally hear them. We walk in. Everybody wants to go. So I have the two little 5-year-olds. It's like half a mile in. You know what I mean? We walk in. We get to this bear. My brother decides he's going to shoot the bear, and he ends up shooting the bear. And it was crazy. They're both boars. In a tree. So I think maybe that other one was bullying the other one. They come in and they both went up a tree. Maybe the dogs. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
So
up the story.
I stay there. They kill the bear. I'm like, I'm gonna head to the other one because his old lady's now coming in she had left already and was headed home. He calls her and says, I have a bear in the tree. I have two of them. She comes back. So she comes in and she calls me on her radio and says, where am I at? I said, go here, go here. you know, but be careful because I have a brother and a sister there that fight. And I know that from the hound trials. It was that. So I said, just hit him in the head with the rock. Do something. I said, radio me. I'll buzz them. I knew where they were. So I haul Bud over there. She parks on the road, walks in. She has a car parked on the side of the road with her windows down. It's dirty. Has a generator. It looks like a tweaker car now on the side of a road. Let's left her windows open. She walks in, didn't grab her pistol. She has a little tiny 22 Magnum fits in her pocket. I'm like, so I'm going over there. She's like, hey, whose dog is this? I'm like, well, that's this dog. He's fighting with people. And then my other dog, she calls us, Yucky's fighting with that dog. So I buzz him. We get in. It's a mean old ugly bear. And you know what? The girl who had a tag didn't bring a rifle or nothing. I'm like, why wouldn't you bring it? It was a good sized bear. It was 200 pounder, you know. And I have a picture of it, and it was just looked like Fat Bastard off of Austin Powers. Had this big, ugly red beard around him when I took that picture. And he was growling. So I actually made my girl stand back in case he came down and there was a fight because he already came down and won. We ended up letting the dog go or the bear go. We walk back truck. We're going to go back in and help him get this bear in. We go back around. That bear we let go ran right back. And my 9-year-old looked over and says, bear. And everybody's like, and he's like, bear, you know, and they have their 410. They brought their 410s in for some reason. So they're like ready to, you know, Andy Oakley a bear. But that bear come running at him. And, you know, bears can't see worth crap. That bear come running at him and like realize, oh, man, you know, there's somebody there. And 40 yards, if 30 yards, turned and went around him. So they're like, what the heck, you know? So, yeah. It was you know, I didn't get none of that as much because I was on the other side. And I'm the only one that carries the GoPros. And I'm going to tell you what, you know who I got on for next week is the guy off Cold Strike Gear. He's going to come on Monday. And he does a little YouTube stuff. And
what's Cold Strike? What's that?
I think he sells like gear and stuff for. He's on. I actually met him on TikTok.
What kind of gear?
You know, I don't know. I didn't research it too much. I actually texted him and told me what you got. I think he sells like maybe leashes and hats and stuff.
Oh, okay.
I want to say like W, but I don't know. He has a store, Cold Strike. I think it's coldstrike.com or something. But he said he'd come on next. He's from Utah. So
yeah, I won't be around next Monday. I'll be down in Southern Arizona.
Oh yeah. Are you telling anybody what you're doing or are you keeping that a secret?
Top secret.
Dang it. Dang it.
I follow that Cold Strike on YouTube, and I comment on his stuff quite a bit. He comments back. He seems to be a nice guy.
Yeah. No, I got on Facebook. I messaged him on Facebook, and then he messaged me back right away. I forget his name. I told him to give me his name because sometimes people don't use their real names on social media, but I don't know. It's probably, I don't know. He never answered back after we talked for a little bit, and I got his phone number. So, but he's supposed to come on next week. And then Rowdy's coming on Wednesday again. He was set up for Wednesday.
I'll be working on Wednesday, so I'll have to do some planning to be able to get on Wednesday.
You already said you're going to be on, Rowdy. Don't make me talk crap about you on Wednesday. So, yep. Oh, got yours too with the petroglyphs. I'm about 3/4 to that video. I haven't made it to the end yet of the petroglyphs one.
I watched that out on a ridge earlier today. I was driving a ridge. I'd cut those tracks at about 10 o'clock, and I was working my way along the ridge trying to find, see if I could cut it again further down the ridge. Didn't have any luck, but I was watching Brett while I was driving up a ridge.
Nice. Nice. What do you got another video? You got another video coming out, Brett?
Yeah.
Pretty soon?
I filmed when I packed into the wilderness.
Oh, yeah.
And then I film every day. It's just a lot of it's not worth sharing with anybody. So
Yeah, I got a bunch of videos. I went out and hunted, just didn't really catch nothing. And I don't know. People feel sorry for my wife because I'm usually mean to her and putting her on camera, and that's what it all is. So then I get in trouble.
I haven't got enough guts to put my wife on camera yet.
I think we'd all go missing in the middle of the night if we tried that.
Yeah, y'all might not again.
Well, I get in big trouble. She's watching right now. I'm probably going to get a text saying you're in trouble already again, especially after she finds my thumbnail. So, well, Rowdy, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks. No problem. Thanks for having me.
It's crazy how we talk about food and Brett jumped on, though.
Yeah, speaking of that, my wife has dinner ready.
Oh, I know. I'm going to go in and eat too. So
I have to go.
Well, thanks for jumping on, Brett. Good video.
For doing this, and that's good to see Rowdy. I've seen his comments a lot.
Oh, yeah, I know. Not only do he leave smart ass comments, he looks like a smart ass. So.
Guilty as charged.
We're gonna get him on a lot now. But
there you go. Good.
All right, Brett, go enjoy your dinner.
All right, guys. Thank you. We'll talk.
All right.
Have a good night.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
All right, Rowdy. You better get back and see how many puppies you got.
Oh, I'm dreading that. She's just coming
Hey, maybe she's just a mean old gyp and won't let them breed. When they first come in, sometimes they're real mean like that, you know. But he's gonna have to work her a little bit. So hopefully she's just now coming in.
Oh, yeah, she's just like I noticed her last night, yesterday afternoon, that she's just starting to swell and get a little bit of she's showing. And she's never been bred before, so hopefully she won't let him.
Yeah, maybe not. I have a dog, Sydney. She won't let no one breed her. She's 3 or 4, I don't know, 3.5. So I've never had her bred. So
hopefully that's the way it works out.
Yeah. So. All right, Rowdy. Appreciate it. If you can get on Wednesday, let me know. We'll sneak you in.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
We'll go over your hunt this week.
Yeah. I'm probably
all right, Rowdy.
Tomorrow, then head home.
Go cook them deer steaks.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You bet. Bye.
All right. Well, man, I feel like all my guys bailed on me. Jonny got on for a little bit, then he hit some technical difficulties, driving with the phone night. But I appreciate everybody for coming. Missy, Roy. Who else is on here? A bunch of you guys. Louisiana hunting. My kids even. My wife. Midnight Blue Outdoors. Charlie, I think it is. Saddle Tramp. Usually he's pretty boisterous. I think I owe him a cup, and it's sitting on my microwave right here. I got to get it sent out. I am bad about that, guys. My soap, I got to get my soap sent out. Promise I will. But this stupid work. I don't know why people make me work. Leardy 58. Thanks for coming. And everybody else. George Lambert jumped on. Brarley Mason. Him and his Jeep 4-door dog truck. I'll be on Wednesday. I hope, unless something happens. I should be on Wednesday. If you want to be a guest, let me know. Jump on. We'll talk about Taco Bell and Jack in the Box, dog trucks, whatever we can. If you know anybody that's it could be a good guest, let us know. We'll put them on. Her, don't matter to us. Missy, I think you need to get on. You haven't been on, and you're on here every week, so you could get on. I'm gonna have Nicholas. Did you check out the 5.7? No, I did not, Brarley. I will. I'm gonna write it down too right now. Start dipping. Missy's gonna send me some of them hazelnuts. Never had hazelnuts, so I'm gonna send her some soap. Do some swapping and trading. Oh, Alyssa Watson wants to be a guest, but then I don't have enough beeps I don't think she could go 3 minutes without saying the F word. All right, guys. You guys have a good night. I'm going to go eat dinner, and we will see you next Monday, probably here, because Brett is running around being a star. So Monday it is. Keep an eye out for my videos. Brett's got videos coming out. My daughter just cussed. I'm leaving now. You guys have a good night. Thanks for coming.